Welcome to Ohio SkyWatch. I'm Chris T, and I'll be your guide as we explore the unexplained events that have captured the imaginations of people right here in Ohio. From UAP sightings to government secrets, we're diving into the stories that make you look up at the night sky just a little differently. Now, whether you're a skeptic or a believer, this is the place to explore the skies together. So today we're taking a trip back to one of the most famous UFO encounters in Ohio history, and that's the Portage County UFO chase. So this happened way back in April 17th of 1966, and it involved not just your average folks, but law enforcement. Yeah, the guys here are trained to be level-headed when things get weird. It all started in the early hours of the morning around Route 224 near Atwater, Ohio. Okay, for you listeners, Atwater, Ohio, it's about 20 miles west of Akron, and it's located in the northeastern part of Ohio. So, two sheriff deputies, Dale Spar and Wilbur Barney Neff, they were doing their thing, checking out an abandoned car on the side of the road. You know, routine stuff, right? But then things took a turn. As they were investigating, they noticed something unusual, a bright light hovering above the trees. Now, this wasn't just some flickering street lamp or a plane in the distance. This was a glowing light, and it was getting closer. They described it as large, illuminated craft, and before they knew it, the entire area was lit up like the 4th of July. Now, these guys weren't about just to stand around there and watch. So what'd they do? Yeah, they jumped in their car and they took off after it. I would too. That's exactly what I would do. Now, what followed was one wild high-speed chase that stretched across 85 miles from Ohio all the way over to Pennsylvania. And at times, the UFO seemed to be playing cat and mouse, adjusting its speed and altitude like it knew it was being followed. Well, soon, other officers joined in the action. Patrolman Wayne Houston from East Palestine, Ohio, and Officer Frank Panzanelli from Pennsylvania got in on the chase, too. Now, can you imagine this? You're driving down the road. All of a sudden, you're chasing a glowing UFO across state lines. Yes, I can imagine. That would be such a dream. How cool. Okay, so this object was described as about being 30 to 45 feet across. It was dome-shaped, and finally it ascended and it disappeared into the night sky once they hit Pennsylvania. Now, you'd think that'd be enough excitement for one night, but no. The real drama, it came after. Because despite these officers having some clear and they were consistent stories about what they saw, the Air Force, under Project Blue Book, shrugged it all off. They said these guys were just chasing, you ready? The planet Venus. Yeah, you heard me right, Venus. Let me tell you, that explanation did not sit well with these officers, not at all. It didn't matter how experienced they were or how much detail they gave. Suddenly, they were in the middle of a media circus and everyone was looking at them sideways. Now, even though the Air Force tried to brush it off, the story left its mark. In fact, and this is so freaking cool, in fact, this very chase inspired scenes from Spielberg's movie, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Yeah, it's the scene where the cops chase the UFO. That's based on this very incident because Project Blue Book, of course, was led by Hynek, and he and his team investigated this, okay, and then he helped Spielberg on the movie. Now, how is that for a circle there? Then that comes around really cool. Okay, so what was it? What do you think? Was it Venus, as the Air Force claimed, or was it something much stranger? Well, one thing's for sure. This event has kept people talking for decades, and it's one of the most well-documented UFO sightings out there. So if you're curious to see some images or find out more about the case, we'll have that on our Facebook group. I'm going to try to put some in the files section. I also have links to places, websites like the Black Vault. You will be able to see newspaper clippings. Now, this might be grainy, some of the old photos that were taken, but I think you'll enjoy. I think you'll like them. I think you'll enjoy them. Okay, guys, that's it for this episode. Thanks for tuning in to Ohio SkyWatch. Now, I hope today's episode sparks some new thoughts and questions about what's happening above us. Don't forget to join our community on Facebook. Now, that's where we keep the conversation going and we share sightings and news and information. Until next time, keep looking up and stay curious.